What's up, y'all? It's your boy Roxo. And before I start, warning, man, this is not for children. Please do not watch this if you are a child, okay? Children, get off the video now. Also, if you are somebody I love or one of my family members, you might not want to watch this. It's a story time, but it's not one of the best times of my life, and it ain't nothing fun. It ain't no joke, but I wanted to share it with people to I don't know, spread awareness, or just, I don't know, I think it's a funny story in a way, but it's crazy. It's a crazy story. But if you're my family, please click out the video. You probably don't want to hear this, but anyway, so as I posted in a short like last week, I almost had got jumped at Indiana Beach a couple years ago. And the story really starts not to bring any name. I'm not gonna say nobody's names, but somebody I know, I was hanging out with them, and then they were hanging out with a girl at the time, and she had kids with her. And we went to Indiana Beach because this is, again, a couple years ago. I was much younger. I still enjoy roller coasters, but more so when I was younger. But we went to Indiana Beach, and she had a camper or whatever, and we were staying in that. And I think we went one day, everything was cool, it was a fun day, had a fun time at Indiana Beach, and then we went back to the campground at night, you know what I mean, and we were just chilling, hanging out. The kids wanted to go for a walk because they had a dog. That's another thing I forgot. They had a dog. I think it was a little Pomeranian, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. They had a dog. They wanted to take it for a walk. So we went for a walk, and then we found this little park. And so, we tied the dog up. We're playing at the park for a little bit. We were playing like tag or something, Again, younger me, I probably wouldn't play tag now, but I still would. I'm a grown-ass man, but like at the same time, I'm always a kid. And if you ain't gonna play games like that with your kids, bro, like you're not no real man if you can't stoop down to play a damn game, man. But anyway, we were playing tag or something, and these kids were sitting on a bench. There was 3 of them. There was 3 kids sitting on a bench, and the first thing they said to me wasn't nothing. You would expect like it to pop off immediately, like, oh fuck you, you ugly, something, say some shit. Nah, these kids, they said something about they like my shirt, the shirt I had on at the time, something like that, something about, oh, cool shirt, These kids were a little bit younger than me, I think, because they were they acted mature, but yeah, I think they were a little bit younger than me. I was like 15. They were like 13, 12-year-olds or some shit. It was crazy. You'll find out why that matters later. But anyway, we were cooling, and then this kid climbed up on the slide, because it was me and the 2 kids I came with, and then there was 2 other little kids there that were like brothers or something. And the bigger one climbed up on the slide, and nobody could get up there because he like kept kicking at him and stuff. So, the kid was like, come down, basically was like, they were, I ain't putting them on blast. I ain't saying their names. If their mom's listening right now, your kids are gangsters, okay? But anyway, he was calling them out, and I was trying to be the adult, but I wasn't an adult, so I probably did the wrong thing in the situation. I probably could have done a better thing. But I was like, well, how you gonna come down here, or you gonna have to catch the fade? Because like, I'm like, it's a little kid. I'm not going to fight him, but the kids can fight. You know what I mean? I got in all kinds of scuffles when I was a little kid, man. I was fighting left and right, man. So I didn't see no wrong to it. Probably was wrong though. I'm not going to lie. But I didn't tell him he had to fight. I just said, bro, he's talking crap on you. And the kid was down. He's, again, little gangster, man. He was down. He was down to go. But anyway, they went like to the sand pit or whatever. And they got a couple shots in. They were throwing kid shots. They weren't really hitting each other hard. I mean, but the kid was a little bit bigger and kind of, I'm not hating, but he was a little bigger, chunkier wise and taller. And he hurt the kid. He was crying a little bit, but he was fine. He wasn't like running home or screaming or nothing. He just was crying because it hurt, And then I told his brother, I'm like, you got to get in there and back your brother up, because he just made your brother cry and you did not even do nothing. Like, swing. And the other kid, I don't know what was up with him, but he wasn't as ready as his brother was to throw them hands. Okay, he was not. Yeah, he's still cool though. I still mess with him. You know, if I ever met them again, all love, no, you know, no hate, nothing. But anyway, you know, he was running a little fade with them. And I said, you know, you gotta defend your brother. You gotta learn to fight. You ain't ever gonna get no, you know, get no love in your life, get no ladies, you know. And then one of those three kids that were also sitting over there they were sitting like this way from me, sitting on the slide. And one of them said, "How you know? You probably gay. You don't get no pussy."